So last time we were talking about the CSS when we were designing our website. So right now I've decided to just make this simple recording because I realized that we don't have much time and we need to cover up we need to start off with also the back end, the PHP and MySQL. Okay, so that means we don't have much time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just show you this simple video. Okay, share it with your colleagues such that they understand how CSS works in a website. Now in class we are designing our website. Okay, we are still struggling with CSS. Okay, then I decided to work on it myself. Okay, such that when we meet, you just have a look at the video. I share with you the files as well. You paste them in your Sublime software and then you have a look and you see how you develop how you can develop such a website. So now what we are going to do, I'm going to show you the codes I wrote. Okay, then I try to explain to you how they work, how they connect with the HTML file. Okay, and then we call it a day. Now this video is only going to be based on CSS as per now. Maybe if time allows, I'll also share with you HTML. Okay, that means I need to sacrifice some time and then I make another recording. In the meantime, you first bear with this CSS recording and then share with your colleagues. Now in my free time, I decided to finish up our website that we are working on. Okay, this is how it's supposed to look like when it's done. Okay, this is how it's supposed to look like when it's done. When I open the browser, it's supposed to look like this. Okay, when it's finished up and everything is fully put together in place. Okay, a simple hotel website, static website. When you go to the about page, this is what we expect to have. Okay, you can see the power of CSS. This is how it manages to arrange our website properly. Okay, and then you end up having something very good. Okay, so I managed to finish up with setting it. So that means we are going to look at the CSS part and then I try to explain to you how I did this. Okay, because I recall we're still setting it up. Okay, now when you go back to our CSS, you realize that we have a lot of codes here. So in our class we stopped at a point whereby we were talking about the headings. Okay, we hadn't yet started with the containers, sorry, the classes. Now remember when we were in class I told you that for all ID attributes they are represented as a hash in CSS. As you can see, they're represented as a hash in CSS. Now for classes, they're represented with a dot. Okay, you can see there is a dot here, there is a dot here. Okay, now where these names are coming from, they're coming from our HTML files that we have. We have the class container. Okay, so all classes in CSS are presented in form of a dot. Okay, you start with a dot and then you write the name of the class. Now these classes you may come up with your own. Okay, for example, you may say, instead of saying container, someone might say something like a box. Okay, or you could say something like it could be a name of anything, so long as you don't forget, okay, what you are going to use it for. So this is the ID attribute and then the class attribute. Now for each section it should have one ID attribute, and then for each class in a section you can have a number of classes, and but for IDs it requires only one specific unique ID for each section. That's why we have a lot of divs here, okay, that are representing the classes that we created. Now, so last time we stopped at this part, and then what you have to input is this. Now the container, this is the class. Okay, now here we are trying to set up the page, how it should look like. Okay, the importance of this, if you look at my website right now that we are designing, the container that I'm talking about is this entire platform, the browser that you are seeing, okay, whereby we try to set it up properly, okay, where you see margin auto, okay, just like if you look at Microsoft Word, we have what we call center alignment, we have right alignment, left alignment. So in CSS we also have to set up our browser such that our content is set right in the right order, okay. So we shall say margin, then you say auto, okay, then maximum width, okay, of the container that is going to have your information, that is 1100 pixels, okay. Overflow auto, then we have padding, okay. Now here if you look at this padding, I know you this is the first time you are saying this, but the only difference is that if you have seen a rectangle anywhere, okay, it has, is it 4 sides, okay, 4 sides, but there is length and width, okay. Now for padding, remember I told you it's the space around the content, okay, the space around the content. That means if I say 0 and then 20 pixels here, okay, if you look at the square, let me say the 0, it could be the length, okay, it tries to stretch it a bit, and then the width could be the 20 pixels, okay, or vice versa, okay. So this is now like length and width, okay, but for the content that is surrounded by that what container. For example, this is our container, okay. That means the padding is going to work on these links as well, because they're also inclusive among the containers. Then again, that same padding will work on this content that is here, ready to offer your services in time as well, okay. Container as well, it is here, so it will have an effect on all areas where I place their classes as containers. Then they will make a change. That's why we are having something like this, okay. You go to the about page, you have something like this, okay. Then this as well. Now if you go to we have another class here called lead, okay. Lead, I say the color, okay. Now this FF, this is white, it's white, okay. This is white color, okay. You may write it down like this, triple F with a hash, or you may just simply say white. Now this dot lead is also a class that we have in our HTML file. Where is it? It's around here. Yes, I wanted the color of our text to be whitish in color, where you see this lead, okay. When I go to my browser here, we go to the home page. Remember, this is the home page where we are, okay. I wanted this to be whitish in color, okay. That is where the lead is coming from, okay. So when I put this FF here, this is the white color, okay. If you change this to black, it will definitely be black, okay. When I type black, okay, and then I go back here, you want to see that this will become dark, the paragraph that is here. When I refresh, okay, sorry, not this side, not this one, but it's here, history of our hotel, okay. The lead is around here somewhere, just forgotten, but it's around here. You see this, where our lead is, okay. That's the importance of having the classes. The text that you want to remain white will remain white. The one that you want to change the color, it will change the color of the font, okay. So where the lead is, where you see history of our hotel here, that is why we have a difference of the what, the color here, okay. That's why you see it's now dark. So when I go back and I try to make it white, okay, remember I've told you that you can type here white, remember it's white, okay. When I refresh, you can see it has gone back to white in color, okay. Then we have the font size, that is the font size of the text that we have here. It will increase it. And then we have the padding. Padding is the space around the content, okay. I wanted to increase the space, okay. Remember, sometimes you find the words are packed together, okay. So the padding will help reduce this, the space. If I highlight this and then I press Ctrl question mark, okay, and then I save that, I've removed the padding, okay. Just observe this. When you refresh, you'll see they have gone up a bit, okay. So when I go back and resume to padding, I put it back, okay, we shall realize that it will go back as it's supposed to be. So this will change. When I refresh, you will see that they have gone now down, okay. Then we have this class called .me, okay. Now I also got it from here. Where is the me? Here it is, where we have the outstanding locations, okay, and then also the fitness room, okay. Those now, if you look at our browser, they are here. outstanding location, fitness room. Okay, we had to mind about the color. It had to remain black. Okay, so I used the class me, I connected it to CSS, and then I put here color black. If you change it to color white, trust me, this will also change as well. Okay, this will change because we have them connected to the same class. Okay, when I change, now you see this one and this. Okay, when I go back to my CSS and I make those changes, I change this to white, and then I refresh. This is going to change to white. You won't see even the text completely. When I refresh that, you can see they have vanished. Okay, that means we need to go back and make the changes. That's the importance of having a number of classes in CSS. Okay, then we have this one, .bg primary, background primary. Okay, we look for that as well. Where did I name it? Yes, here it is in one of our classes. This is where there is delicious meals. Okay, now the color I used, okay, it's a bit unique. It's called wheat. Okay, some unique color. Okay, you may change yours to red and you see it changing. Now this one, it is for the background around here, this area. Okay, I think you can see the difference. Okay, when we use classes, you shall have a number of what colors on one page. Okay, I think, let me refresh this. I want this to come back to black. Okay, when I refresh that, it's back to normal. Now we have this BG primary, background weight, and color black. Okay, the color is for the font, this one here. Then the background is the background around this area. Okay, this is where the color is coming from. Okay, then we have BG dark, background dark. Okay, look for that class as well. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, class background dark. Okay, that means we are going to look at the CSS. I'm seeing there is this color is a bit like light gray. Okay, it's a bit like light gray, the background, the one you are seeing here. Okay, it's like grayish, a bit of gray around here. That is where we are seeing it from. Big background dark. If you can observe properly in our HTML file, you can see this is where we have history of the hotel, the paragraph. Now here to concentrate with only the background where the text is. Okay, so it will only make sure the color appears here alone. Okay, okay, now I know the figures look weird. Okay, but for you, may type here light gray. Okay, on your own, then it will be the same thing, or you put gray. Okay, now we have padding bottom. Okay, this one will also help in creating space around the content. Okay, around the bottom area here, 20 pixels. Okay, so you can try it out in your free time and then you see how it works out. Okay, maybe if you insist, I may do it for you from here. When I do that and I refresh, I save and I refresh from here. Okay, there's a slight change. It just changes slightly a bit. Okay, if you have been observant. When I go back, I put the question mark and then okay, I refresh. You are going to see some changes here. When I refresh, okay, just a little push. Okay, not that much. Then for the color, maybe if you insist, I may make it like red. Okay, though it won't look nice, but this is for you to better understand this. So you can see it has only occupied reddish color here. Okay, though for me I would prefer to use this. Okay, so now when I refresh that, it will go back as it was. Now we have BG light, background light. Okay, now these are also weird colors. Okay, I saved the document somewhere. I hope you received it. Okay, if you didn't, I'm going to forward it again. No, it isn't this one. I think there's a document. Let me go to my browser here. I think I look for it. Yeah, no, it's not this one. It's called something like other HTML areas. Yes. Now remember we talked about the colors. This is a bit the FFO you have been saying very light gray, as you can see. Then the one I was showing earlier on, dark shade of gray. Okay, so I put them somewhere such that I don't forget. It's what I used here. Now BG light, background light, where is it? It's around here. Okay, where we have our outstanding location and the fitness room. They have the same type of color. Okay, so that's why they have the same uniform color in our browser as we see. Okay, it's just a little bit of white of gray, but it's a bit looking like it's whitish, but it's kind of pale, a bit pale, okay, around here, the background. So we have our BG light from. Then the color, this is definitely for the font of the text, okay. This is the dark gray, as we have seen. Is it? Yes, dark shade of gray, 3-3, okay. Then we have BG white, background white. Now these classes, I just came up with these names, okay. You may come up with your own unique names such that you don't forget the classes the way you have named them in your HTML file. Now BG white, background white, for it, if it's not on the home page, then definitely it's I think on the about page. Let's go to the about page HTML file. BG light, yes, here it is. Is it the one we are talking about? No, it's white. We look for white, background white. Okay, so I think it's in the contact page here. Yes, here it is. Now this one is also for the contact area, BG white and then background white together with we have this, okay. The contact page, if we go to the contact page, we have this area, as you can see, this entire area. You can see the grayish boundary here, as you can see, okay. We have the contact, the location, the mail of the hotel. We have our logo here, okay. Now the color will change from there, okay. So we have background white smoke. This is also a type of color, white smoke. That's why it looks like it's a bit whitish, but it's a little bit of gray, okay, a mixture of that. Then we have BTN. This is the button that we are talking about. The button is in the about page. Yes, remember when we were designing our contact page, when we were designing our form, we had something like this, okay. Now earlier on, if you looked at the previous website we were designing, it came out as a text, okay. It came out as a text, but in CSS we made sure that it came out like a button, as you can see, okay, whereby even you can try to fix with your mouse pointer, it changes into like a hand, okay, and you see the color is changing, okay, as I try to, before when I click, it is already changing. Now with that, I had to say display, okay. I know at the beginning some may want to see how it changed, okay. Now at the beginning it looked like this. When I refresh, I'll save that, okay. When I save, you can see it looked like this, you can see it's like a text, okay, before that change came. Now you need to insert all this information such that it will look like the way how mine looks like, okay. Now I won't explain all of this, but maybe this area, cursor pointer. Now what this does, it changes your, let me refresh. When I refresh this, are you seeing the arrow pointer? Okay, you can see where it is, the arrow pointer on the screen. When I drag it next to the button, it will transform into a hand. That's what the cursor pointer does, okay. When I remove it, okay, I want to just highlight that, and then I make it like when I refresh and I remove it, it remains as like an arrow, but then it changes into like a cursor, as you can see. But then when I do that and then I save, it will make sure it's we refresh to transform like a hand, okay. That's our button. Then the hover, it is what is making the color change. Before when you click, you see it's black. When I bring the arrow pointer, changes to like the wheat color. This is wheat, okay. This is wheat that I use the background color of the button. Hovering, it's like it does the same thing like also where we have our nav bar here, okay. That is what we call hovering, okay. You choose the color, then the color, this one that is this that is here, this is what did we say it was? It is dark shade of gray that we used, okay. Now color, for even if you don't use the figures, it's fine, okay. Then we have L heading. We have L heading here. It's the same thing that I've been explaining, okay. You need to just know where it's all coming from, the connection. Now L heading, for it, we look for where it is, that class, okay. Now just know that you need to know how to use these things, okay, such that you come up with an outstanding simple website, okay, a static simple website that is good looking. Now I'm trying to look for L heading. Yes, here it is. We have it in the contact file, HTML file, where we have please fill in the form below to contact us. Well, okay. Then I said line height, okay, that's the height of the text, okay. that means to affect this and this, okay, because they're in that area. Then we have padding top. It makes some changes here. It helped to push the words to go up a little bit, okay. If I try to highlight and you see what I'm trying to talk about, then I save. When I refresh that, you can see just pushed it back down, okay. Now when I use line height is going to only work on the text to stretch it a bit, okay, like trying to make it a little bit long, slightly long. But then when I use padding 30, okay, it will push it up. Padding top, when I refresh that, it will push it upwards, okay. Now we have .guest class font size. Here I just changed the font size, but if you are looking for it, guests is on the about page somewhere around here, okay. Guests, yes, the opinions, we had to make some changes with where the text was. Previously it was at the bottom, okay, but then we had to put some font size to increase on the what, okay, just a little bit, okay. Then we have this PDG 1, padding 1. I just came up with this as well, okay. Now this one, I think it's around about pages. Here it is. It's also a class, okay. We just had to change, what did we change? The padding, okay, such that the text is around here, okay. Remember it was at the bottom previously, but now we had to put it somewhere around here, okay. So now basically that is how CSS works, okay. The same goes to Samantha as well. I had to use padding top, okay, to make changes with her text, okay. You can see I used the class Samantha here, the class, the content, her content, to change the words, okay, where they are supposed to appear. Now when you get these folders, all these files, what you do, make sure you try to see how it works, okay. You try to just if you remove, you just highlight that, then you press question mark, then you save, you come back here and refresh. You see how there are some changes going on, okay. And then when you go back and press control question mark, you save again, everything will go back to normal, okay. Because I want to share with you the files, I hope you receive them. And then we have words, text align, justify, padding top. I won't repeat this. We have the ID, mission, okay, dot mission content. Now this one is what I use to change the font, the color of the paragraph, okay. This mission and then mission content, we had to change the color, okay, of this. Remember it was dark when we were in class, okay. It was the page, where is it? Yes, this is it. It had to become whitish such that you can easily read the content, okay. So I had to change that, and then it worked out, okay. If you change this to black, trust me, it will work out, okay. It will change, the color will change. It's meant to change this. I won't show it to you, but that is your assignment. Try to experiment on that. Now we have the home info. That one I've got it from around okay, here, where we have the ID home info. We also, as long as you see where these classes are, okay, located, it helps us to easily set up the page, okay, in its right format. Now the home info, I had to say float left, sorry, height 350 pixels, such that the image can appear, okay. Because we had our we left class when we don't have our image here, okay, but we had to use it. Then here you say again home info dot info minus img. Now that one, where it is around here, info dot minus img. So you repeat the id attribute and then the class attribute to give it its name, and then you display the image background. Recall when I told you about these images in CSS, you put the two dots there, URL, then the image. Now the folder we have in class was images, okay, images. So it depends on how you name your folder. That will it will depend on what you have put here. If your folder is fully written as images, you have to put here images. Then you say slash the name of your what, picture. I have a number of pictures here, so I chose this one, showcase with the file.jpg. that's what I put here. Then no repeat, I had to put the word no repeat there, okay. What it does, they are saying no repeat sets how an image will be, either horizontally or vertically, okay. Now I won't go too far with that, so I proceed. Width is the width of the image, okay. The mean height 100%. Now that's why we have the image looking like this, okay. So that is how it is. Okay, maybe I'll just help you and you see how it appears. When I move that and I save, then I go back, I try to refresh, you can see there is nothing here completely. There is just the grayish color. Okay, now for it to appear back, you have to save that and then you go put that and go back to normal. Okay, we have the home info, we have info content. It's also a class as well. Look for it in the about page. And then home info, where is it? Home info, yes, here it is. Then the info content, information of the content. I had to just come up with that. We have float right, width. Okay, now float right, this is the information that went on the right side. Okay, the content. Then width, okay, how big, text align center. You can see that's why in its box, in its own container here, it's in the center, slightly a bit in the center. Then we have text padding, okay, height of overflow hidden. Then the color, this is dark grayish color, is it dark shade of gray. We have the box here. Now the boxes, these ones are here at the bottom, where I just come up with my own unique class. We said box. Okay, where we have these areas here, as you can see. Okay, now in CSS I decided to say float left. Okay, width 33%, padding, text align center. So all of them went to the center. Okay, in their own containers, as you can see. Okay, that's why they're appearing like that. Then we have the about info as well. Okay, float left, more info. It took care of the about info. Here it is. Okay, the one that is at the talking about our hotel. Okay, as you can see, this is how it's now looking like. Okay, how it changed like that, we have to simply say move float left. Okay, then the text will go on the left side, as you can see. Okay, then width 50%, so it will take care of the width of the area, so it will only just occupy a space of 50%, as you can see. Then we have padding bottom 90 pixels. Okay, then here it will increase the padding and push it a little bit up. Now we have again about info, movie right image. Okay, now movie right image, I got it from here. This is the class we have. Okay, then with the image img, okay, it is here, image 8. I have these images here, so you may have the way you name your image matters. Okay, now recall this is the file name, it's the name of the folder, sorry, that you have, you put it there, then the name of the image its file corresponds to. So you go back and you place, you say display block, margin auto, width, okay, border radius. Now border radius, it helps to make it look like a circle. Okay, if I refresh that, see here it's circular. Now I've removed border radius. Okay, when I refresh this, you can see it's now a square. When I go back and I refresh that, it's now like this. Okay, this one is optional, it's up to you to do it whether you want it or not. Okay, it's up to you to do it such that you learn. Then we have this float right. Okay, for the image, this is now for the image. Okay, it went on the right side. Width, padding top, just see the space around the area. Okay, then opinions of the guests, we have it as well. Okay, color black, center line. Okay, now opinions, this is the area, you can see it's color black for the text. Okay, I got it from here, you see, opinions. So all of this just has a connection with how you named your classes and what id attributes. Okay, I know it's not easy, but it takes time to grasp the concept. Okay, then we have padding. Okay, you can see text align, center, background width. I just love using this color, that's why it's here, the background is here, width. Then padding, this is the space around the content. Then we have margin bottom, opinions, opinion. So all of this is just know how to represent the id attribute and the class attribute in CSS. Okay, and then you are good to go. So we have border radius as gain once again here, that is for the image we have here. Okay, when I remove it, no, hold on, yes, border radius around this. When I refresh that, then also here, okay, we have these two border radius. Now remove that because for the image, when I refresh, the image will become back in square form. Okay, so now I go back to inserting border radius, it will just convert the image to look like this. Okay, so now we go to, now that's why you see float left, the image on the left side here. Okay, where you see this width, that is how big it is. Okay, the percentage. I wanted it to be small like that. Now we have finally the contact page. contact form list. Okay, contact form list. We have contact form. Okay, we have it here. Then form lists here. Now we have to change. If you remember, in class we had our area where we are going to set the name and the email, the message, but they were very small, so we decided to use margin bottom 20 pixels to increase it a bit. Okay, to make it look a bit wide. As you can see, last time it was just around here somewhere. Now it's here around in the center, as you can see. Okay, so now we say contact form label, display block, margin bottom 5 pixels. Okay, now all of this I'm getting them from here. Okay, the label I'm getting it from here. Make the change, okay, of the content. And then contact form input, contact form text area. This is the ID attribute, contact form with input and text area. It is the same thing. Okay, so you just go here, text area is here, as you can see. Then input. Okay, so we have to make changes with that such that it becomes a bit, when I said width 100%, it had to increase the space, okay, the content. Then we have contact form. Okay, we finished up with 200 pixels. And finally the main footer, recall it was here without even any color. Okay, so what I did, I just put here, remember I gave it an ID attribute of main footer. I just came up with that name, main footer. Okay, here it is, ID main footer. And then in CSS I had to use text align center, that's why it's in the center here. And then we have background dark golden rod. Remember, this is a color I would prefer to use, but you may use any color you want. Okay, this is an environment where you are free to choose. You may choose red. Okay, though I would prefer to use this color on my side. Then this is the white color. Okay, just because it's written in this format with the hash with the triple F, but this is white. Then padding top 30 pixels, that's why it looks like this. Now that is our simple static website for this semester, and that is what I wanted to share with you. Now finally, for those who haven't yet grasped the concept, there is a simple file I've shared with your course leader. Okay, I tried to compile some simple notes about what we have covered this entire semester briefly. Okay, such that you go back and try to read through, but then don't just read, but you need to also practice as well. So if you see any code here, you try to copy and paste it, put it in your Sublime, and you try to look through it, you see what it does. If you fail to understand what is going on, please feel free to contact me and we see what we can do. Otherwise, have a nice day, and we shall meet where necessary. Okay.